What's going on, everybody? I'm Jake, hanging out with Dustin. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the last episode of The Last of Us, the season finale.
Yep, this is the last episode of the season. I can't believe it. It's over. I remember when this episode first started or the show first came out, I thought this was going to be the best show of 2023. I still say it's going to be one of the best shows of 2023, but I don't know if I can stand by the best show of 2023. But it was really good. It's up there. I really, really liked it. And I was very surprised how close it followed the game, especially with this last episode. What did before we get into this last episode, what did you think of the season finale?
I love the show, therefore I like every episode, but this is one of my least favorite episodes. I wanted them to go out with a bang, and I guess they did, so that is a check mark, but not in the way that I really expected. I wanted to see some kind of results with the Fireflies, and again, not the results we got. I was left feeling a bit bitter with Joel's decision, but, I mean, I get it on the other hand, and on the other hand, I'm just like, but it's for the greater good.
What for the greater good, for him sacrificing Ellie, or
Yeah,
him not
yeah.
sacrificing Ellie?
I feel, him sacrificing Ellie, but on the other hand, why you gotta do? I mean, like, I understand why he did Marlene dirty, but like, come on, that was dirty.
It was dirty. He
It
just
was real
doesn't
dirty.
care. He wants her,
What he
which
wants.
is Sarah to him.
Well,
So
and I get it, considering all the things that Joel's been through. I understand why Joel is the way he is, and I understand those selfish. You don't get a whole lot of selfish desires in this world, so when you do get a selfish desire, you want to hang on to that with everything you got, because it's the thing that keeps you going.
yeah, I really liked the episode. I was very surprised by how close it followed the game. It followed the game almost to a T, man, all the way up to, for the draft to the end. It's one thing they kind of leave it up to the player when it comes to killing the doctors, but man, they did. Even the ending, I was very surprised by how close they followed the game. So as I was watching this episode, I knew exactly where they were going, what was going to happen at the end. So I wasn't surprised by it. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. I was surprised they went that far. So, and just like you, I was very pissed off at Joel's decision when I first played the game. But that's what makes Last of Us such a good story and such a good game. So, all right, with that, let's get into the episode. So this episode starts off with we see a lady running in the woods, and we kind of hear. I thought it was a clicker at first, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. It's just like an infected. I wasn't for sure. This girl looked a little bit similar to Ellie. I thought. So I was like, "Is this? Are we getting Ellie's backstory here?" Is what I was asking myself, because I knew it wasn't like the current time period. I just knew it wasn't. And then whenever I know she's pregnant, she runs into the house, and then she's about to have a baby. It reminded me of that movie Quiet Place, when she's about to have a baby and there's this monster, and it's just chicks trying to have a baby, and there's an infected running after her. But did you know the lady who's playing Ellie's mother, Ashley Johnson, is actually the same lady who played the voice of Ellie inside the video game?
I did not know that. That is actually really interesting. But I'm with you there on the opening. I felt like it was Ellie's mom shortly after I saw her running in the woods. I was like, what is this? And it took me a second, but I figured it out pretty quick. Yeah, I really enjoyed the opening. It was a little wild. I didn't know what was gonna happen, to be honest. I was like, she only has a little knife, I was like, what? Because I thought same thing. It was a clicker. I was like, if it's a clicker, she just stands no chance against this thing with just a little knife. There's just no way, So, but it was good. It was just, it was a little intense.
Yeah, it was. And then the end of the scene was even more intense, where she sees that she has been cut or scratched
Bitten.
by it.
No,
So
it
now
was
she's infected.
bitten on the
Okay,
thigh.
is that what was she bitten? I couldn't tell if she was bitten or if she
But
was scratched by it or.
she tells her that she would cut the umbilical cord before she was bitten, but she didn't. She cut the
But
umbilical
yeah,
cord
that's a lie.
right
Yeah,
after. Yeah. And that's
but
why
that's
Ellie is
yeah,
immune. So that's what I'm
exactly.
saying. That right there
That's some new
alone,
information that was not in the
exi-
game.
that information alone right there, you could make immune people doing that,
Yeah,
sacrificing
but
one.
what
I
are the
mean,
odds of that? Of that actually happening? The odds are so bad. You have to have a baby, and you have to be
it's
born
got to be
right
set
as
up.
you get infected. And you got to
Well, it's
do
got to
it
be set
just
up.
right.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
it's
I'm
got to be
saying
set up.
the odds that happened in the first place.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean, or something. That's why you only get Ellie.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the odds are just so bad. But she taxes Marlene to end her life. And I didn't think she was going to do it because she said, "No, I'm not going to shoot you." And she walks out. I was like, "Oh, man, she's going to make her live as an infected." But then she goes in
Right.
there and, ends it for her.
Blah blah.
But, but did you
Pulls
notice
the Glock
whenever,
out.
well, when she pulls the Glock out, she tells the other guard, cover the baby's ears. And he doesn't cover the baby's ears at all. I'm like, man, look at this
Right.
guy. What a jackass.
So this episode with Ellie and Joel, you could just see how distant Ellie is this the entire beginning of the episode, and you can tell that she's thinking about her mom, and she's just thinking about not just her mom but her best friend that she had lost, and just all the past people that were really close to her. How she really enjoyed Tess as well, and just all of these things are piling up on her mind. And Joel can sense something's wrong, but he's just not the kind of guy that knows how to talk to her, properly. That's why I feel like it takes him so long to actually reach out and ask her if she's okay, because he just isn't good at that stuff. Like, he can protect her and he can take out an army of fireflies. But when it comes to talking about the sensitive stuff, he's just not the person, which I kind of understand. I get that, especially being the person Joel is.
So you're saying he's the Hank Hill of Last of Us.
Ooh, laundry, hot out of the dryer.
Oh, 6 a.m. and already the boy ain't right.
I took it as the whole thing, the chemistry between them, as Ellie has finally experienced something probably worse than the infected, right? The things that happened to her in that place where she was captured, I think really took a toll on her. And I took it as more of the experience with that, the chemistry between them, because now she's kind of unsure of everything, and plus, yeah, I'm sure she's missing her friends as well. But with what happened to her, I felt like that was why she was being so distant and so out of it.
She says it herself to Joel in the show. She says that, hey, she's like, oh, I miss Tess, my best friend. She's talking about all those people, talking about her mother. It has the scene of her mother giving birth. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like all that is supposed to lead in to what it's supposed to give the audience an idea of what Ellie is thinking about without Ellie actually having to say what she is thinking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I got you. But I do think the whole
Oh yeah, I'm sure it
trauma is
does.
what brought it all up.
Absolutely. I mean, like, that definitely takes a hold of her emotions for sure. But I think it goes deeper than just that as well.
Shortly after, we go
Move
to
on.
the draft scene, which is exactly from the game as well. I wasn't sure they're going to do that. I wasn't sure if they could get a draft, but it looked pretty awesome. So like this scene is special because Joel finally gets Ellie to kind of open up a little bit, kind of smile, and once she's feeding the giraffe, he can see that she's kind of reverted back to her old ways, smiling and giggling and laughing, and it was straight from the game. It's pretty cool. Now after that, when they're walking, and Joe tells her, "Hey, pull out the your puns book. Let's hear some shitty puns." He's kind of let off guard. He's kind of let his guard down. He loves her so much that he let his guard down, and they get captured by the Fireflies. And this is where we kind of learn what their true intentions are with Ellie and how they plan on curing the rest of humanity.
Yeah, and let me chime in here real quick, because like this is another thing that really upsets me about this episode is we're already here. We're a season finale and we're already at the final battle, which is bull crap. You're gonna like, they sold us short. They gave us like a 45-minute episode, which I feel like is BS for the final episode. Like,
it was very short.
I was like talking to a coworker yesterday about like, oh man, I really hope it's gonna be at least like an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20. That'd be super awesome. And then they give us a 45-minute episode, like 30 minutes shy of what I was even talking about. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, there was in
dirty.
the game. There's a lot of stuff built getting to the damn hospital, but of course they skipped over all of that.
Yeah, they did us dirty this episode.
Yeah, I was disappointed it was only like 40, because technically it was only like 40 minutes, with all the previews, all the trailers, and you have the credits and everything. You're looking barely 40 minutes long this episode.
Yeah, because I thought it was like, oh, well, at least 50 minutes, No, because they have a 15-minute segment of them talking about the show afterwards. So you're only getting 45 minutes.
So the one thing that didn't make sense to me is after Joel finds out of what they're doing to Ellie, is in order to get the cure or to make the cure, they have to go into her brain, because that's where the cordyceps are, is in her brain. And once Joel finds this out, of course, he flips out. So what didn't make sense to me with Marlene, why let him go? She sees how emotional he is. I mean, she knows how strong he is and how capable he is, and she gives him back his knife and takes 2 guards. All right, just go, take him out to the road, and
why are you gonna treat him like that? I felt the same way.
Yeah.
It's like, you just did him dirty.
Yeah, it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. That's kind of how they do it in the game too, But in the game, it's kind of more expected because it's just a game. But in the show, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then he does. He goes crazy and takes out both guards very easily. Gets a gun,
And then he takes out an army.
An army, massacres everybody. Just an army of guys. I'm like, wow. Where was that the whole season of all the bandits and taking everybody out just like you do in the game? So the one thing that I wasn't sure what they're going to do, because in the game, when he gets to the doctor's office, you have an option of just letting the doctors go. You can shoot one. You can shoot them all. Whatever you want to do. And in the show, he just shoots the main doctor, lets everyone else go. Of course, in the game, you kill everybody. You take everybody out.
But do you know why he killed? He only killed because he was like he was only gonna kill anyone that stood in his way of getting to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I really thought he was gonna take out the nurses as well.
No, I was like, no, he's gonna let him go, because that's when I realized. I was like, he's only killing people that are getting in the way of him and his daughter, basically. And it's like, if you don't get in the way of him and his daughter, it's all good. We're golden. Not talking about the Fireflies. He left no mercy for them. I'm just talking about the doctor.
Oh yeah, no mercy at all.
If the doctor, because there was one of the Fireflies that was laying his gun down, and he was just like, boom, it didn't even matter, just bam.
Well, exactly. Yeah. He just shot him. He was basically giving up. He just doesn't matter.
He doesn't trust him, which I get it. But that's the only reason why the surgeon died, and I get it. I mean, he was trying to protect, a something more valuable than gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why not? Why doesn't Marlene shoot him in the back whenever he's leaving? Going to the parking lot, sees a car. He's wide open. She's right there, and she comes out and
Doesn't want
stops him.
to risk getting Ellie. Ellie is that prize of possession. She is the cure to the one and only thing that could come close to getting anyone to cure the world. So it's just like she is, like I said, she's more precious than diamonds. She's the most precious thing on the planet.
Yeah, she is. She is, and he lies to her and tells her that it's a common thing and they can't cure it, and I'm sorry.
And when Ellie's looking into his eyes, and she says, "Okay, you can tell that she does not believe him, but she loves Joel and she trusts Joel, and like she doesn't want to give that up, So she goes with it, even though she knows that he's lying."
Yep. It's like 100%. You're right. She looks at him. She knows he's lying, but I think she knows that she would have to die for them to have the cure, and that's why he did it.
That's what I'm saying. Joel is the only one that she has, and that she really truly loves and trusts, and like she wants to believe Joel so badly, and I feel like that's why she does, is because she really doesn't have any other choice. That's our take on the season finale of The Last of Us. I thought it was okay. I was really disappointed in the length. I wish they would have given us a little bit more. I want a little bit more comfort, I guess you could say. I don't know. It was okay at best. What do you think, Dustin?
I liked it. I did enjoy it. I was bummed that it was so short, that they could have did more. But overall, I liked the season. I liked the finale. But I am a little bit worried about season 2. If they follow the story too closely, they're going to completely ruin it, and they're going to lose me 100%. So, but we'll see next season what they end up doing. So,
yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Have a wonderful time. Peace.
all right, peace.